I'm going to share with you all that you need to know about hydration and tips to staying hydrated in ways other than simply drinking water. I'm going to talk about the impact that dehydration has on us, the benefits of hydration, how much water we need, what impacts how much water we need, what is an indication of dehydration, and finally tips to help you stay hydrated in ways other than just simply drinking water. True story, I've always struggled with drinking water, honestly. I will never forget, for years, taking a bottle of water to my desk when I used to work in the corporate world. I'll get in there in the morning, put it on my desk, the day will finish, and I will leave having not had a sip of water. And I would do that for honestly, months, years. And so the intention was always there, but for some reason, I always struggled to just drink my water. I don't know why sometimes the simplest things in life are so difficult. What impact does dehydration have on us? Well, our brain is made up of 73% water. So just a 2% decrease in hydration can cause brain fog and short-term memory loss. It can cause reduced cognitive function and concentration, fatigue, tiredness, dizziness, headaches. It can cause impaired physical performance, dry skin and other skin-related issues, and so much more. So what are the benefits of hydration? There's so many benefits of hydration. It includes increased cognitive function and concentration, physical performance, increased energy. It helps with better digestion and metabolism. It can also help with reduced chances of kidney stones, and it just helps with overall physical metabolism and function. How much water do you actually need? It's different for everybody. It's not the same amount we were told always traditionally. If you think about it, kids will need different amounts. A teenager will need a different amount than a 60-year-old man, and it also depends on your weight and so on. It's actually, you take your weight in kilos and you times that by 0.033, and that will give you the amount of water that you need to take in liters. So let's say you're about 50 kilos, you times that by 0.033, and that will give you about 1.65 liters intake of water daily. So what affects how much water you actually need? There are different factors that play a role here. This includes things like how much exercise or sweating that happens in your day. Also, other things that play a role are the weather conditions. So what country do you live in? Is it a hot country, you're sweating a lot, or you're living in a cold country? And also other factors like your diet. And I will get into that a bit later on with the tips on your consumption. But just in a nutshell, your diet and how much water is in your diet in terms of water that's in your food content will also affect how much water you actually need in your day. So what's an indication of hydration or dehydration? Actually, a quick measure is the color of your urine. So if it's pale yellow, it means it's an indication of hydration. If it's dark yellow, then it's an indication of dehydration. So what are some ways to increase your water intake? I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks. So first up is drinking water before your meals. That really helps build a habit so that you are you start to unconsciously remember to drink water. Another way is to maybe set a certain target daily, but also break it down into hourly or before meals or whatnot, setting yourself certain targets in the day. Also, what could be helpful is keeping a water bottle with you at all times. Now, a disclaimer, I obviously did that for many years and I'd have a bottle of water and I had the intention of drinking water, but for some reason I never got myself to actually drinking it most of the time. But eventually with time, as I started to actually drink water, I always have my bottled water with me, and it definitely comes in handy and does help me drink water. So when I'm driving, I'll take a sip. If I'm watching TV and have my bottle of water, I'll grab it and drink it. But initially, if you're really struggling with consumption of water, it might not be used, but if you have the intention and you keep persisting, eventually you get there. And honestly, for me personally, it took me a really long time to get into it, and by a long time I mean probably years, but eventually my water intake really went up and improved with time. Another thing is you can actually eat your water. I know this sounds so bizarre, but fruits and vegetables actually are some foods that have a high content of water. Incorporating foods that have high content of water into your diet will also help with your hydration. There are some fruits and vegetables that contain a 70%, 80%, 90% water content. So It's not a small amount, and it definitely can seriously and properly contribute to your water intake. If I'm not mistaken, I recall Dr. Michael Greger referencing that people on a plant-based diet require 2 glasses of water less than everybody else daily, because they are also getting a decent amount of water through their food consumption. Because if they're eating a well thought out diet and following his daily dozen recommendation, you're also going to get a sufficient amount of water indirectly, which is fantastic. Another way is drinking water straight up for some reason is a little difficult. Then flavoring your water with some lemon or orange squeeze or mint or anything like that can be very helpful, because it changes the taste a little bit, and that, you know, really helps with maybe the water intake. Another thing to also keep in mind, for example, consuming herbal teas are also a great way of increasing your water intake, and also shakes. So, you know, having smoothies or shakes also contain a good amount of water. So that's an indirect way of increasing your water intake. So for a snack, for example, you can have a watermelon juice or a smoothie to really help you if you're also struggling. Also, soups, again, I've touched upon eating your water in a way. So things like soups, smoothies do contain a good amount of water content, and therefore really help with hydration. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. I post healthy plant-based recipes, self-help and self-development content, guided meditation recordings and affirmations, and a bunch of other videos like vlogs, book reviews, and things like this video right here. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.